All right. We're speaking to Fatima Daris from Teleshore. Fatima, we obviously just come out of a session, and I'd like to know from you, what was the most valuable part of that session that really resonated with you?
The group sharing of experiences. Sometimes when you work in HR and you're in a senior role and you work in a competitive industry, you always wonder whether other companies or other organizations are experiencing the same problems. So when I thought about RSVPing for this workshop, I was very cautious, and at the back of my mind I thought, okay, when you share, don't share too much. But people experience the same thing, and even salaries aren't even such a big secret anymore. And I appreciated the fact that people shared as much as what they did, because they shared more than what I expected, and I was open to sharing sort of things that I thought were more secretive to us, and it made me feel comfortable. So that was the biggest thing that I can take home today.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit of a paradigm shift.
It is
for our industries.
It is
competitors talking to each other.
Yes, definitely big competitive shift, because our direct competitors are there, and it's very enlightening. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having us.
So I'm chatting to Mushfiq Hopkins. Mushfiq, we just want to find out from you, what was the most valuable information that you gained from the session we've just stepped out of? Was it on retention of staff or anything in particular?
I think the most valuable is, you look at when a session ends, especially a morning session, and you look at the amount of interaction that comes from it. And the difference with this session and most sessions you attend in the industry is that this morning we were speaking about thought leadership. We were really trying to get into people's minds and get practical information on how to solve issues that we all have in our own little silos or in our own organizations. And I think that was the most important thing, to look at practical examples, people being honest about what they're good at and what they're not good at. And I think the more honest we are, the quicker we'll come to answers.
Absolutely. What was your thought around what James Thompson mentioned about being good at some things and being unapologetically bad at others?
I think it's just a different way of looking at your company. I think it's, what's your core focus? Is your core focus customer service? Is your core focus, if you look at status, for example, is your core focus recruitment? Or is your core focus getting quality staff at the right time in the right space? And I think that's what you've got to be aware of. We can't be everything to everybody. And I think the topic was thought-provoking. I think the statement was definitely putting it out there. But I think it's spot on. Don't try and be everything to everybody. You can't do that.
Because then you're not good at everything. And
exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Like in my marriage, I'm good at certain things. And I'm good in the kitchen, by the way.
Okay.
But when it comes to my children, my wife's better at that. So we've got to recognize. And so, it's a relationship. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, lovely speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Kobus Stoffberg. I'm from Jabber Connect. We're a cellular subscriber company, and I'm actually looking after the finances of the company. I'm head of finance, so nothing to do with HR or recruitment. But the reason why I'm here is, if I have a look at my income statement and all my expenses, and I think this will apply to any business, of your top 5 expenses per month, per annum, is your HR, your payroll expenses. And what I find significant is how little our finance people understand about HR or your human behavior, what drives your people, what encourages them, what discourages them. And also the enormous cost involved in terms of training your people, upskilling your people, and then if you lose your people, you need to reinvent that process all over again. So not only from a cost perspective, but also from a time perspective, and the skills that you lose every time you have staff rotation. So I find this very fascinating, speaking to HR people or to people that's more operationally inclined than finance inclined. Yeah, so that's the value I get out of these meetings. Yeah, and I find it fascinating.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you feel that this kind of forum is important for every or any person in the business to understand, where the links are, and.
I think if a person's got a passion for human development or for human potential, they will get very good value out of it. But you have to come with the mindset that yes, that this is not a finance forum, or you're not going to discuss numbers or HR costs. It's more a fact of how your HR business processes is actually affecting the whole business organization as a whole.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you've learned something.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm standing here with Johan March. He is from MWeb, and he's just delivered a very pertinent presentation with regards to the call center agent and their lifespan within call centers. Johan, tell us, what do you think was the most important piece of information that you've shared with the forum today?
I think there's a number of elements that I think was quite crucial, but if I have to select a few or one particular, one for me is really the self-directed team. I think that's something that is very orthodox and maybe not a common trait to have a team not managed particularly by a manager. And we've seen some remarkable success over the last year having tested exactly that. The other element for me is the notion of call center agents wanting to do the least amount of work, and the notion of give me more challenge, allow me to do more. And that certainly has allowed us to be able to retain our top agents, because we've tried to involve them in projects, we've given them portfolios, and we've unshackled some of the traditional call center metrics in terms of phone bound and HE where we could afford to do so.
Okay, fantastic. So a little bit of a paradigm shift for most businesses, yeah, in terms of, you know, we have to manage the staff and not get them to buy in and be part of the company, silent partners, if you like to call it that, and you know, have more responsibility and buy into what you want to do as a business.
Yes, exactly that. It's not that it's something that other businesses perhaps are not doing, but perhaps they're not deliberate about it. Maybe it happened by design because of open vacancies. And we try to be deliberate about that by making sure that the staff understand that we trust them and that their decisions are important and that their contribution are valued.
And we're listening.
Not easy, but we certainly have to continue to hold on to that message and continue to try and allow them to enact those actions, and then it starts to stick, and we've certainly seen the benefit of sticking to that particular formula over the last year.
Fantastic. Well, lovely meeting you. And
no, thank you very
to
much for having me.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot.